Hey, what's going on, Christian? I'm assuming that's your name. My name is JaMarr John Johnson. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, and then Spanish Harlem, over on the Washington Houses Community Projects. So I have 14 years in the military in both the Marine Corps and the Navy. And throughout my time on active duty, I went to start to study how I could affect my personal finances and the finances of the communities that I came from. And obviously there's a couple of different ways to generate wealth. We all know coming up with $1 million or $1 billion idea is one way, but it's very hard to come about. And then we know that real estate is an option, is a very serious option if done correctly. But very few people are aware of the different financial tools available. And I'm not just simply talking stocks and bonds, but I'm just talking about ways in which one can invest in a safe, secure instrument that generates a return in a tax-free, tax-deferred manner, and then upon using the funds in that instrument can be used in a tax-free manner, and then upon death is passed to the next of kin in a tax-free manner, and that is in life insurance, and using that in an appropriate manner. Now, I have a couple of businesses. I do some digital marketing for restaurants, comedy clubs, as well as some nonprofits. So that's where I'm kind of directing my energies and efforts, and I'm more than willing to sit down and talk with individuals and show them how they can do what I do and build upon that. And so while I think that delusion is an extreme that our people can't afford, it has served as a psychological protection for us for many, many years. But I think if you take the delusion and if you take actual practical knowledge and put it together, you create a realist in the highest magnitude, and understanding that we have to become entrepreneurs. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because only then will you start to understand that an entrepreneur is someone who learns the insides and outsides of everything that they do. I'm going to be speaking actually at a conference, a job conference for veterans up in Bakersfield next month. And it is the largest veteran job fair in Southern California. I currently live in the Hollywood Hills of California. And so my message to them is to become entrepreneurs at their current places of employment, and then from there leverage that out to then also become an entrepreneur. I think that is the only way that we're going to survive. We live in an age of information, and obviously there's information overload in many cases, but I think that those who can synthesize information, those who can leverage their ability to network, to be dependable, to help true entrepreneurs grow their businesses, those are going to be the ones that actually help their families pull themselves up and help their communities pull themselves up. But it has to be a collective effort. And there's a couple of interesting books that I've read that if you're interested in learning more, I'm happy to talk to you about it. But I think that delusion mixed with practical knowledge is very important to be successful, because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have many, many ups and downs. I've had many, many ups and downs, but to be here at the age of 37, to know that if something would have happened to me, my daughter, my mother, my family is taken care of because I'm insured properly, while at the same time taking steps to build more liquid assets, to acquire more real estate, to acquire more financial tools. That is what we have to be focused on. I've definitely taken the Mark Zuckerberg approach when it comes to wardrobe. I've kind of minimalized myself in that regard, so I'm not constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses in that regard. And the next step as I look to downgrade and downsize certain things that are necessary are things like, for example, a car. Whereas I used to have 2 cars, now I have 1, and even the one that I have, I'm looking to get into an older used car that can take a beating and keep on, take a licking and keep on ticking, because it's not about overspending in those regards, because that's a depreciating asset. But there's so many things that I can show you in terms of, how to use life insurance properly, how to build a reserve system that you can't be denied a loan from, and how to pass down wealth to generation. It's going to take some sacrifice. The 50 billion economic plan was designed to ensure 200,000 African Americans with at least $250,000 of coverage, equaling $50 billion. We've already reached the goal of over 208,000 African Americans. The coverage levels haven't been where we wanted them to be, so we're pushing forward. We have about 6.5 billion left to go by the deadline, which is July of 2017, in which when we reach that goal, we're going to put our names in a plaque at the African American Museum to show the progress that we've been able to make since having the opportunity to actually come close to having a seat at the table. There's still some other things that we need to change from a legislative standpoint, but we can do our part in being fiscally responsible and making sure that we're passing down wealth to our people. So I hope that helps, gives you some bit of an answer. Happy to talk further. My number's on there. Text me anytime. Let's get together. Let's have a meeting of the minds. All right? I'm JaMarr.com/go-giver. Peace.